Hey everybody, what's up? Leonardo 2003 here, and get hyped, because we're back to review episode 7 of Rise of the TMNT, Bug Busters. Before we get into it, definitely check me out on Instagram, at TMNT 2003-2017, if you haven't already. I post little updates, we're always talking turtles, I go live sometimes, I even show my face on live. So if you're interested in any of that, go check me out on Instagram. Now, let's get into this episode. It was bonkers. It was amazing. It was everything I hoped it'd be. There were some great plot lines expanded upon, great villains, and great interactions amongst the turtles. It was also a special 30-minute episode, so sit back, relax, and let's break this episode down. We start off with the turtles patrolling New York City in the turtle tank. They're dressed up in their bug buster suits, and they're on the hunt for the Mosquitoes. Raphael says that the news said that this hotel in the city is full of them, which tells us that the humans are fully aware of what's going on with this mosquito epidemic. They arrived, and damn, this place is infested with them. There are seriously hundreds of them, and there's only one human in the lobby, and he's pretty funny. He provides some comedic relief for this scene. The turtles each have a different bug buster weapon. For example, Raph has a bug zapper, and Mikey has a honey gun that's supposed to attract the bugs, but it doesn't. Right off the bat, Leo and Raph are butting heads about leadership stuff. This was a pretty big episode for that ongoing arc between Leo and Raph, and we'll see a lot more of it later. Donnie's weapon was an orb that he throws that can trap a bug, but it kind of malfunctions and ends up trapping all of the turtles. So they get none of the mosquitoes. And then one of them injects its mutagen into the human, mutating him into a bull or an ox, or another animal like that. We then get our first glimpse at Big Mama, who's watching this all unfold on surveillance cameras. She says to herself, "So that's how it happens. I always knew beef jerky was his downfall." So that confirms that whoever gets mutated in this incarnation mutates into the last animal that they touched, or in this case, ate. So then that mutated ox runs out, and the mosquitoes follow him into the city. After some more Raph and Leo bickering over whose fault it was that they failed, they're greeted by Big Mama and all of her butlers. This is Big Mama's human form, and she talks in such a unique way. She uses words like fizzywinkle, and has a fun accent. Big Mama informs the turtles that they are amongst their own kind, and all of the butlers transform into mutants. But Big Mama says they prefer to be called yokai. I'm not sure if yokai are the mutants that can transform into their mutant forms or what. It seems that yokai is just another word for mutant in this series, after hearing the way it was used through the whole episode. If that's the case, that kind of sucks, because it's a waste of a lot of potential for a different kind of mutant. She brings them on a tour of the mystical hotel, and Leo is the only one who's skeptical of her. They ask her if she knows of Baron Draxum, and she plays dumb, acting like she never heard of him. She says that these mutants have existed for thousands of eons, which I'm guessing are similar to years in time. She then shows them the lounge, which is where the mutants can watch the Battle Nexus. Anyone who watched the 2003 series knows what the Battle Nexus is. This was a fantastic concept to bring into Rise. And take a look at that giant statue of a human inside the Battle Nexus. I bet this statue and the person that it is will be very important when the Battle Nexus story arc comes around. And I don't know why, but I just have a funny feeling that this is the human that Splinter was before he was mutated. That's my bold take. If I'm right about that, I am a psychic. We then see Hugin and Munin, who remember the turtles from their first encounter. If you don't remember, these little guys are Baron Draxum's right-hand men, or should I say, his right and left shoulder men. The turtles get into Big Mama's office, where she shows photos of some mutants that we've seen so far. Big Mama prefers a low profile in the human world. She doesn't want her and the yokai to be found. This is where her and Draxum clash. Draxum wants to turn all of humanity into mutants, while Big Mama likes the mutant community to remain unknown and stay the way it is. I'm guessing she probably makes a lot of money through this hotel that she runs, so if all of humanity becomes mutants, her hotel will no longer be the hot spot that it is. That's just my guess. Big Mama then taps the gem on her chest, and transforms into her true form, the giant mutant spider. Her plan is to lend her webs to Donatello so he can make a web cannon device and go around New York capturing the Uskitos for her. She spits some webs out for Donnie and says once returned, she will bring the Uskitos back to the underground city. The guys agree with the plan, besides Leo, who really doesn't trust Big Mama. Despite Leo's doubts, the turtles hit the streets. Donnie figures out that the Uskitos are attracted to carbon dioxide, so that's how they lure them in. As the turtles are capturing the bugs, Hugin and Mutant are both shown watching, and are ready to go inform Draxum of what the turtles are doing. Donnie's device that he built was pretty sick. It was a rideable air-surfing spider web shooter. They ended up capturing a bunch of Uskitos. Raph says that they think they have over 100. They get back to the hotel, and I have to mention this. When they're taking the elevator up to Big Mama's office, they are humming the 1987 theme song. That's a reference to both the 87 series and the 2014 movie in that elevator scene. But once the turtles meet up with Big Mama, her whole office has a really spooky vibe. There's webs all over the walls, and her mutant butlers are all surrounding the turtles. Big Mama confirms that she runs the Battle Nexus, and that she will be taking the Uskitos and the device that Donnie built to catch them. She says that she will be using these Uskitos to make even more powerful mutants for the Battle Nexus, and that she's going to put the turtles in it as well. And oh look, there's the mutated crab cake guy from the first episode. He was the first mutation that we saw. Raph admits to Leo that he was right, but Leo disappeared. He actually escaped down the elevator. And then we got a commercial break. I know everyone hates commercials, but it was awesome to have a commercial break in an episode again. These half-hour episodes are amazing. Big Mama has the remaining 3 turtles handcuffed, and puts her men and her mutant guard dog Gus after the blue one. Gus is another new character. He's pretty funny, but has a serious evil side as well. Leo is crawling through the air vents of the building, and he's able to find the room with Big Mama's safe. He sees the guard put the combo in, and throw the Uskitos and Donnie's device in. Leo is being really clutch right now. He then jumps down the mutant laundry chute. Meanwhile, the guards are bringing the turtles to the Battle Nexus gateway. This gateway looks like an entrance to the upside down world from Stranger Things. But Leonardo rolls a laundry basket in front of the gateway as a distraction, and then makes a portal for the guards to fall into. But Leo falls through the roof and into the portal, so the turtles quickly follow. I think we get another Andy Soriano Easter egg here. That's gotta be him taking a shit. They end up on another floor, and Leo slices off his brother's handcuffs, rubbing it in that he saved them. But Gus comes raging down the hallway towards the turtles. Mikey saves the day here by whipping out a tennis ball. Gus is infatuated with it, just like all dogs, and runs down the hall after it. The guys hop in an elevator and agree that they have to get the Uskitos and Donnie's device before they leave. Raph and Leo really start arguing here. They've both had it with each other. Leo says he knows the safe is in Big Mama's office, so they go stealth mode. Leo brings out the hidden safe, and Donnie hilariously tries cutting through it with his tech bow. But that would have taken hours, so Leo punches in the combo. The guys get the device and the Uskitos, but the tennis ball from before comes rolling in, and Gus is back. But Big Mama was sitting in her chair at her desk the entire time. She quickly turns into her spider form and shoots her webs at the turtles, putting them all into webbed cocoons. But Baron Draxum floats up and busts into the office. Big Mama and Draxum definitely know each other, and I can't wait to hear their history in another episode. Draxum wants his Uskitos back, but Big Mama isn't going to give them up easy. When speaking of the Battle Nexus, we get this animation on the screen. We went over this a few days ago, but check it out. We get Rise versions of what look to be Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead, Armagon, Lethargo, Sandstorm, and what Half Court might look like. Of course, those are all past characters, and some of them might be a stretch as a comparison, but Mikey and Pizza even said that these guys are all bad guys and will wreak havoc on New York. Wow, if that's true, that's crazy news. But take it with a grain of salt, because Mikey and Pizza is by no means an official source, And they've been wrong before. And I just can't believe that they would reference a 2007 movie character who barely even appeared. But hey, I love that movie so much. Draxum says that his goal is to have every single human on the surface to be mutated. And then he and Big Mama begin to go at it. And not like that. When Draxum fights, his most powerful move seems to be the purple roots that he creates from the ground, while Big Mama's best move is shooting her webs. Draxum confirms that he too is a yokai in this scene. I wonder if he can turn into human form. Raph's freakishly spiky shell comes into good use, as the spikes end up cutting the turtles out of their cocoons. Draxum gets the bugs and escapes to the roof. Raph comes up with the plan, telling Leo to use a portal to the roof. They hop in, but Donnie and Mikey don't make it in time. They're stuck with Big Mama. Donnie says that Big Mama gave him his first ever compliment from a parent-aged adult. So I guess Splinter never once gave him a compliment. That's kind of sad. We cut to Leo and Raph stealing the Uskitos back from Draxum on the roof. Draxum starts using his purple roots again, and he's hanging Leo off the roof by his bandana. He says, "I may have created you, but I will not hesitate to destroy you." So there's confirmation to what we already knew. He created the turtles. Draxum actually lets Leonardo go, attempting to kill him, but Raphael quickly jumps off the roof and uses his Smash Jitsu power to form a giant glowing version of himself to get to the ground first and catches Leo. That was just sick. Raphael just learned how to do that too in that moment. But in this time, Draxum lets all of the Uskitos loose into New York, and then he escapes into a purple portal back to the underground city. The Foot also use a purple portal. I hope that this doesn't confirm that the Foot are working for Draxum, because I really want them to be working for the Shredder behind the scenes. We're back to Big Mama, Donnie, and Mikey. Donnie uses the last web left in his device to shoot it at Big Mama, defeating her. Donnie used her own webs to beat her. The guys all meet up in the turtle tank, upset over failing the mission. The Uskitos are all loose in New York City again, and Draxum got away. At least they got a defeat over Big Mama though. They then talk briefly about how Draxum created them, but sadly, they don't say anything noteworthy about it. We then cut back to Draxum, who is satisfied with his hard work creating the Uskitos coming to fruition, but he knows that the one thing standing in his way is the turtles, and he swears to eliminate them. Wow, where do we even begin? What a roller coaster of an episode. I'll start by saying that the episode was awesome. It was definitely my favorite one yet, a 10 out of 10. Since most episodes are 11 minutes long, it really makes the half-hour episodes even more epic. Finally, an episode where I'm on the edge of my seat and want to know what happens next. I'm still not sure whether the yokais are just what the mutants call themselves, or if they are different than the mutants. I am leaning towards that they just call themselves yokais, but it's still hard to tell. Some mutants have the ability to transform into human form, but I think that power comes from the gems. Big Mama and her butlers all activated gems to change form. Big Mama is amazing. She is pretty much everything I thought she would be. She's so powerful, both in the underground and in New York. Her hotel and the Battle Nexus are her two claims to fame. I think this confirms that eventually, we are bound to get a Battle Nexus story arc. Big Mama has an amazing voice, which really makes her even more creepy. Her designs are great. There really isn't anything bad that I have to say about her. A powerful woman villain is always a good thing. I just can't wait to see a backstory to her and Draxum. We need that backstory. Draxum's role in this episode was pretty cool as well. He succeeded in unleashing the Uskitos into New York, which is funny because the turtles succeeded in doing that accidentally in the first episode. Draxum should have been thanking the turtles for that, since his goal is to mutate every human into a mutant, which is pretty diabolical. Draxum comes off more serious in the second appearance. He says multiple times how he will destroy the turtles, aka kill them. He was also victorious in the episode, which makes him look even more powerful. I can't wait to see him again. And I hope he makes some appearances in 11-minute episodes too. Soon, I think the Turtles have to ask Splinter about their origin. I mean, Draxum just told them that he created them. Splinter has to know a lot more about it. Maybe he just hasn't told the Turtles their origin to protect them. In episode 1, Splinter had the medallion on his shelf with the same marking on it as Draxum's henchmen to create the portal to the underground. So Splinter definitely knows a lot more than he's telling us. Raph and Leo's arguing in this episode really progressed their arc over leadership. Leo saved the day in this episode multiple times by escaping Big Mama and helping his brothers escape her control. Without Leo, the guys would have been thrown into the battle nexus. Raph did have 1 or 2 good ideas in the episode, but Leo had like 8. It's only a matter of time before Leo addresses the situation and confronts Raph on who should be leader. What's weird is that in the episode order, this is episode 7, but due to poor episode airing, we've already seen 2 Halloween episodes, a Foot episode, a Hypnopotamus episode, and a multiple villain episode. In none of these episodes are any of the events from this episode talked about. That kind of worries me. This episode had huge advancements in the plot, but in the following 5 episodes, nothing was talked about. I know it made sense for the way that it aired, but then they just would have ordered the episodes differently, right? But I just hate the way they're airing the episodes out of order. It's so whack. The next episode is I'll Be Back, an Alberto episode, so I doubt we'll get any plot advancements there. At the end of the day, you can't take anything away from this episode. It was amazing. On the online forums, the people who were on the fence about Rise loved it. Hopefully there could be a 30-minute special episode every 8 or 10 episodes, about 4 or 5 a season. So I give this episode a 10 out of 10. I'm thinking of a clever way to rank the episodes, like for example, 10 shells out of 10, but I still haven't thought of it yet. What did you guys think of Bug Busters? I'm sure you guys all loved it, and I know you guys love to come up with your theories, so if you have a good one, drop it in the comments. There's no new Rise of the TMNT episode this weekend, so hopefully I'll have time to work on some other cool vids. I will be doing a Let's Read of IDW's first issue of Rise of the TMNT, along with the Q&A video. I'm also working on top 10 episodes of Season 3 of the 2012 series, so hopefully I can get some of those videos out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.